Hello, welcome to T-Side Music Podcast. My name is Mal. I'm going to talk about three shows. First one being Jenny Lascelles at Northeast Volume Music Bar, Perfect Chicken at Cafe Etch, and end credits at Northeast Volume Music Bar. So let's get into it. So yeah, like I said, the first gig I'm talking about is Jenny Lascelles at Northeast Volume Music Bar. This was supported by Callie, Billy Gatley, and Georgia Smith. It was, let's double check, get the gig up here. There we go. It was on the 11th of January, Thursday, in Northeast Volume Music Bar. Yeah, it was one of those kind of seated gigs, which, I do kind of enjoy at Northeast Volume. I got there and I don't, I got there a bit later than everybody else, I think, but I got there just in time for Callie's set, the opening set. Um, I was lucky enough that somebody I knew there, my friend Amanda, was there, so I was able to just go and sit next to her during the because like I said, like most of the seats are already kind of taken up and that kind of thing. So I just sat there, good spot for to get photos and videos and stuff and enjoy the music. Um, the second time I've seen Callie. Yes, it was really kind of a good way to start the gig. There's She did say that she hasn't played an original gig for a while. Um, imagine she plays a lot of kind of cover gigs because that's where a lot of money is for acoustic artists. Um, but it was a cool set. It was a good way to start the gig off. There was a moment where she kind of forgot the lyrics to one of the songs, and um, I think she did feel like she was a bit kind of rusty, even from playing her own music, even there. But it did nothing like to kind of ruin the vibe or anything like that. She did soldier on through these kind of things, but it does happen. Like I say, like there's a lot more money to make made in originals. So when you're used to playing that, you're used to playing that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Um, so nothing really too negative about that. Just like I said, there was just a few moments where like she forgot the lyrics, that kind of thing, but it happens. Um, you know, she on stage, she looked like she was enjoying herself. People in the crowd were enjoying it, so, and credit to all three acts, and they stuck around and supported each other. You don't really get much of that these days, so that's always good to see. Um, Second was Georgia Smith. I've seen Georgie before, but it was just acoustic. I've seen her play like drums in like Northern Hospitality before as well. It was she had like a full band with her today. She had Jacob Diaz White on guitar, which I thought was pretty cool. Really good guitarist. I don't really know the name of the rest of the band, but they sounded really good. I don't think I had much practice before the gig, which sometimes came out a bit kind of like I don't think any of them really knew how to finish the song. I think they're on kind of different pages when it comes to finishing certain songs, but um, there's a lot of promise in the music, a lot of promise in what she does. Very talented. Um, there's a song called Monster which I really like, which I mentioned last time. Um, but sadly, the band kind of finished that song early. Like I said, I think they were on kind of different pages of where songs kind of like finish that kind of thing. But there's a lot of promise in Georgia's music. There's loads of catchy stuff in there. Um, a few different genres mixed in, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of excited to see where Georgia goes from here, and where the music takes her. Um, but then there's like the headline act, Jenny Lascelles. I was really looking forward to Jenny. Last time I saw her was supporting Sal Solar in the green room. I think it was for like a single launch, and that was a good one. That was a good gig, but like when I saw it in the green room, there was a lot of kind of technical issues and stuff like that. Um, but luckily enough, that wasn't the case tonight. I really love what Jenny does. Like the music's amazing, and the performance at this gig was just on another level. I think like it just sounded great. The full band like as well, like just so much talent in there. Like the guitar sounds amazing. I remember like there was one where I stepped aside a second, went into the toilet, and I could hear like this amazing sort of like guitar stuff in the background, and like just everything just sounded really cool. Um, Jenny always looks like she enjoys herself on stage. She gave props to all the both the support acts during the set. Got everybody to applaud them as well, which was kind of really cool to see. Kind of wish we got more of that at gigs recently, because every now and then it kind of just feels like every person for themselves kind of thing. Um, but you know, Jenny was great. She like I said, give props to the other acts, give props to the sound person, um, and and Northeast Volume. So that was really cool to see. And after it was kind of like the music was kind of like very soulful, very bit of rock in there, bit of pop. There was so much stuff in there to like unpack. You know, it's really. I definitely recommend checking out the albums on Spotify. Speak about the albums. Let's get to the merch. Um, yeah, the merchandise was great. Jenny Lascelles merchandise. She had like t-shirts. She had mugs. Um, a vinyl copy of the latest album, CD copies of all three albums which I bought. I went away with three albums. I spent 30 quid on them, which very good bargain there for three albums worth of music. She did tell me that the first album was completely different to what she does now, so I haven't really listened to it yet. So I'm looking forward to checking out their roots, so to speak. Because most bands, like when they've changed, they usually just delete what they've done in the past, and I kind of appreciate that she hasn't done that. She kind of like owns up to like how she used to like perform, that kind of thing, and I really like that. Um, so yeah, I went home very happy. Got one of the posters, of course I did. um, but yeah, I had a great night. Got kind of a chill one. Had a couple of the 0% Guinnesses and Northeast Volume is still on top of the game when it comes to non-alcoholic drinks. Um, Speaking of any volume, they're gonna start one of those stamp things soon. Where you buy a pint, you get a stamp, and you get 10 free drink. My question about that would be, I'm probably going to ask them about this tonight, even though I don't drink. Is it one stamp per person or one stamp per drink? So, for example, if somebody was to buy a rounding and that round was 10 drinks, it's like stamp, 10 drinks there already. Do you want a free drink kind of thing? Do you know what I mean? So there's probably a lot of things to think about when it comes to that, I guess. I know you can say that about anywhere, but it's not like people go to like coffee shops and buy 10 coffees. Do you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I think that's something that I'm probably going to ask them about, because I do trust any volume know what they're doing. I think Adam knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to kind of bar stuff and that. Um, but yeah, about this gig again, it was really cool night. Very good first gig of the year. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is going to play music by all three acts. All three acts have got music on Spotify. So enjoy that. So this is Billy Gatley, Georgia Smith, and Jenny Lascelles. Oh, before I play this, I want to say that I did ask Jenny how to pronounce her surname, and thankfully she did answer, and because I would have completely crucified that if I didn't know. um, but yeah, he's Billy Gatley, Georgie Smith, and Jenny Lascelles. So now moving over to Middlesbrough in Cafe Etch. This was a gig I was really looking forward to. It was Perfect Chicken at Cafe Etch, like I've just said. The gig was a day after the Jenny Lascelles gig, so it was on the 12th of January, Friday the 12th of January. And the poster looked weird there. I was like, that's a 12, yeah. Obviously, it is a 12. It was yesterday, from when I'm recording this, anyway. So before the gig, I went to the gym real quick. did a bit of cardio, that kind of thing. Watched a few episodes of Red Dwarf. I was at the gym, got home, got ready. Because I messaged Chris, who was in the first band, my mate Chris Scanlon, asking what time the band's going to be on. He said 8 o'clock, so I thought, yeah, it's in Middlesbrough, around the corner, might as well get a quick workout in before, the gig started. So I got to the gig um, after that, and yeah, I was really looking forward to catching Perfect Chicken. Very curious about grasping at reality, the first band. Um, it's given me so much to talk about, and I don't even know where to start. So, grasping reality is my mate Chris and my mate Kev. Um, you may know them from different projects they've done in the past. Like Chris was for trumpet, Kev was Dead Moon Lizard Kings. He was, I think he's still in the band. Or that punk band who sing out Palmos and shit. Amazing Space Frogs, is it? Yeah, he plays drums for them. But this was a completely different. Like, the set out was a bit different to what you would expect. Well, a band to be like. So Kev was like sat behind what was these kind of pedals that were attached to a kind of a computer. Um, and Chris was like, he had like a chair set up and a copy of the BFG by Wardell um, set up. So the first song started with basically Chris reading out the first chapter of Rodal's BFG. Um, so he's talking, he's going, and then the music started. This kind of techno kind of beat. Kev is messing around with like the kind of microphone, the vocals and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it was an experience. Then I forgot what the word is, but like Chris was like repeating this kind of word from the book. He was just reading kind of like, I don't know if like it was organized chapters from the book or if he was just like kind of flicking through the book and reading which ones stuck out to him. But whatever, it was total chaos. Whatever it was a lot of fun to watch, but it was total chaos at the same time. Um, as the set went on, they were like Chris got like the crowd involved. He did a very, very good job at that, singing along. Like there was a song where he'd sing some word and get the crowd to repeat the last word of that sentence. Which the credit of the crowd were very into it, and it was a very good crowd for this gig. Um, but yeah, it was an interesting set. Is like I said, like Lorraine from Back to the Future says to Marty after he's played Johnny Be Good, that was very interesting music. Yeah, the kids are gonna love it. But yeah, it was good to see Chris on stage and enjoying himself again. I was talking to Chris about doing an interview at some point on this, which I think would be a lot of fun. I reckon me and him would have a good bit of banter on that. Um, yeah, yeah, they both looked like they would really enjoy themselves. The crowd were very, very, very well into it. It was really cool. It was really it was different. I'll give them that. But then after that, I waited around for a bit. Looked at the drum kit. There was a banana on the drum kit for some reason. I don't know. Um, but yeah, yeah. Then these three balaclavaed men came on the stage. I don't know who any of them are. That being said, I don't know where Kev went because Chris was doing the sound check. Chris from the last Grasping Reality, but I don't know where Kev went. No, he was nowhere to be seen. I thought he might enjoy this band, but I don't know. Like, just disappeared, I guess. It's kind of weird because I saw him after Perfect Chicken set. But yeah, that being said, yeah, yeah, I think yeah, they definitely lived up to the hype. I've been recommended by my friend Haley, who I think she may know who they are. Maybe she's yeah in cahoots with them. um, my friend Chris, who was in the first band, he recommended them. The band benefits were raving on about them, which was cool to see. Like I said, I love seeing bands supporting bands. There was no different here, I think. Well, I can't really tell with Perfect Chicken because they were just three balaclava men. So I don't know if they were in the crowd for Grasping Reality. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Um, But yeah, but like I said, Chris was doing the sound. He did a good job of keeping the kind of chaos in check, I guess. Also joining in a bit of the banter. Um, there was some guy in the crowd who joined in a couple of songs, did a few kind of bars, rap bars. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure if this was planned or if this was part of the show, but he did a good job. Like the guy, I think he kept mentioning that it was a first gig he's been to in a while and stuff like that, and he kept saying he's found his people and all that kind of thing. Which is kind of nice to see, a very wholesome kind of moment there. Um, but your gig was itself was kind of really, the vibes were positive, the music with Perfect Chicken was great. It was kind of like a upbeat sort of grungy kind of indie kind of alternative sort of 90s influence there. A lot of the kind of different rock sort of influences there. There's a lot of kind of like attitude in the band, which kind of added to the music as well. Um, the kind of like rapport between them and the crowd was, if you don't get the context, I imagine you think, oh, the fuck's going on here? What you got a problem? But if you're in on, if you get involved, you get into it. It's a good show to kind of really enjoy. Um, I can definitely see why people are raving on about them and why people would assume that it is the kind of music that I would like. So there's definitely going to be someone I'm going to be looking out to seeing again. Um, yeah, yeah, it'd be interesting to see them play in different venues as well, like that. Because Cafe Etch was like, it was really cool, but like I said, it's quite a small. It was very kind of packed out, and I had to move at one point because the guy stood in front of me wasn't really kind of like very spatial aware. I think he almost headbutted me a few times, leaning backwards. So I moved to the back. I was like, no, he's gonna end up fucking headbutting me or something here. Um, but yeah, yeah. I moved just next to where Chris was doing that kind of sound. Still really enjoyed the show. Got a lot of great pictures. Um, it was just a lot of fun. Like the whole night was a lot of fun. Everybody it was great vibes all around. Cafe Etch is a favourite venue of mine. I love going to Cafe Etch. I drop in every now and then, get myself a coffee. Support your local businesses, of course. Um, but yeah, I can't play any music by any of the bands because none of them have any music on Spotify. But I'll keep an eye out for that. So hopefully a future gigs, at least one of them will have music on Spotify. Fingers crossed. So that's it. I'm going to move over to end credits now at Northeast Volume Music Bar. So yeah, that was Perfect Chicken and Grasping Reality at Cafe Etch. Absolutely fun night. So end credits at Northeast Volume Music Bar. Yeah, I was looking forward to this one. Like I say, one of my favourite acts in Northeast at the moment. End credits headlining a show. Support was from Senor Pink and Joe, and it was 13th of January, Saturday. Yep, so like I said, I was looking forward to this one. Got down pretty much the same time as I get down to any volume gigs. It's kind of strange with any volume because I get there at the same time pretty much the same time all the time, and I still manage to be either too late or too early. um, this time I was like, I got there and then credits were doing the sound check, like that kind of thing. Um, yeah, because I think it's because it's just such a small room. It's like it's I don't know. I always find it a bit weird watching bands do a sound check. Like I always feel weird doing that. Because it's like, I suppose you can see it as a preview of the show, I guess. But I always feel weird watching band sound check. I just wish any volume had a bit of a kind of like more definitive sort of, kind of get scheduled for how the gigs go. Like this time the gig starts, first band, second band, that kind of thing. Uh, but yeah, yeah, it was it was cool to get down early as well, I guess. Because I've seen Joe twice. Last time I saw him, I walked him during his set, so this time I guess it was kind of cool to get touch to kind of watch it from the beginning. Um, so yeah, Joe hit the stage. Sorry. Um, yeah, it was probably one of the best sets I've seen him play. This is the third time I've seen him, and out of the three times, this is probably the best one. Um, it felt a bit more organised. He didn't forget any of the lyrics, anything like that. So that was pretty cool. But like he plays like a cover by song singer Passenger. I really like that song. I think it's cool. I saw Passenger live in 2013. Um, so I've been a fan of Passenger since then. But I think he supported Ed. Yeah, he supported Ed Sheeran. Um, but yeah, it was mostly covers. I think he played a couple of originals. I think the covers were crowd wise. I think the crowd were more into him this time. At the last time I saw him, I don't think the crowd really responded to him, but this time the crowd was singing along, just having a good time, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, like I said, it was like one of the best one of the best Joe sets I've seen. Actually, is the best Joe set I've seen. Um, yeah, I think like even though it was two bands this time, he still kind of fitted with the with the lineup. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to seeing what Joe has coming up in 2024. Um, yeah. So second act was Senor Pink. I believe these were from Sheffield. Same drummer as the drummer from End Credits. So obviously doing two sets in a row. That's quite the brave move, especially for a drummer. Um, because obviously there's so much energy going into the drums. Um, but yeah, I quite enjoyed what it did. There's somebody shouted out Arctic Monkeys or something like that during the set, which I kind of understood. Not musically, I think musically quite far from Arctic Monkeys, but I think it's because he's from Sheffield, so he had that kind of accent. So I kind of understood that. But yeah, but musically, I think it was quite far from Arctic Monkeys. It was that kind of indie genre, but it wasn't really a similar kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Um, but yeah, I fully enjoyed them. There was a part of the set where they changed kind of instruments, and it took for kind of 5 minutes to switch over, which was kind of like awkward to watch. Kind of um, as a crowd, as a member of the crowd, it was anyway. Like because it's like you could have done another song there, you know what I mean? But yeah. After it was kind of worth it because the bass player from End Credits, whose name has escaped me, um, but the bass player from End Credits came on, got the microphone, and they did like what's it called a cover of Limp Bizkit's "Break Stuff," which was not what I was expecting at all. Obviously the tune down, probably dropped D, I imagine. Yeah. That was everybody got into that. I didn't realize how many people like Limp Bizkit now. Then they finished with a cover of Queens of the Stone Age, "No One Knows," which Eddie, who plays drums in both bands, that's a brave choice on his part because nobody knows. Obviously, it's no one knows. So he's Dave Grohl playing drums, and then Dave Grohl at his best. Um, so I probably would have chosen a little bit more calmer, but it was a great cover. Everybody had a great time. My friend Trevor was there. Said to me he's a big fan of like Queen of the Stone Age, and he absolutely loved it as well. Um, but yeah, overall, it was good to see them. Hopefully, we get to see them again down here soon. Um, but yeah, it's also good to see like an out of town band, like a band from Sheffield, get a good crowd like that as well. You usually don't get that from bands from no matter how good they are in any volume. There's never usually that big of a crowd for the kind of out of town bands, I guess. Um, but yeah, now is the time for the main event. end credits. Yeah, yeah, and like I said, I was looking forward. I saw end credits at X Fest recently, but this was a headline set. Earlier in the night, Cameron, the singer, came up to me. He was yeah, yeah, thanked me for the podcast and informed me that they're going to play for an hour, which I thought pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into the set. Um, they played a mix of the classics from the album, the songs that people are familiar with, and they played a couple of new songs which sound great. They played some tracks I've never played before in a while, sorry, and a few covers. The covers included a song by Tool. Um, yeah, I'm not really a massive fan of Tool, but I think from what I can tell, it was a pretty decent cover. Um, but they did play another cover. It escaped my mind, but it was one I didn't really expect. If it comes back to me, I'll mention it. But there was one cover I did really enjoy. I just completely forgot what it was. um, but yeah, overall it was an absolutely fantastic set from end credits. End credits. What I like about them is they know the difference between a headline set and a opening set or a support set. They know like what songs to save for the headline set. I think a lot of bands don't get that. So when some bands play the kind of headline sets, it just feels like they're doing another set. Do you know what I mean? With end credits, they knew what songs to use, what songs to add, and how to make it feel like a headline set. So hats off to them there for that. Um, yeah, merchandise wise, I don't think there was anything out merchandise wise for this one. But I think I would like to own an end credits T-shirt at some point if they ever do that. If they ever release T-shirts, I think the new logo would look cool on a T-shirt, um, of all colours. I always stay clear from buying white T-shirts because you know I go to a lot of gigs and spillages do happen at gigs, sadly. But overall, I had an absolutely fantastic night. I got a photo with the band at the end of it. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like a lot of people there seemed to be enjoying themselves. Um, it was good to see people singing along, and when the end credits did the what's called the encore, the after credit scene, um, they did the song No More. I think a lot of people are into this song. It's easy to see why. It's a fun song. It's catchy. The chorus gets stuck in your head. It's really cool. Um, but yeah, overall, really good, really cool gig. Two great support acts, and yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play um, tunes by Joe and end credits. I don't think Senor Pink have any music out yet, but I'll keep an eye out for that. So here's Joe and end credits. So I'm going to finish things off now with TT Music Podcast track of the week. This is the second week I'm doing this, and this week's track of the week is Plaza with their latest single, Apology, to myself. Yeah. Um, Plaza, I haven't seen him since number 10, since I started doing gigs again. I could have got a chance to see him at a festival last year in Hartlepool, but the room was so packed out I didn't want to really risk it. um, but yeah, I could hear him outside. He sounded as good as ever, as great as ever. The song's a bit different to how I really remember Plaza. Um, Back in the day, from memory, I remember them being like kind of like upbeat, sort of indie, sort of like kind of band. This is kind of like very kind of synth heavy. Um, Maybe I'm remembering them wrong. Maybe I don't know, but it's it's a good direction for them. It sounds cool. Hopefully, I'll get to see them live again soon because I've always really kind of enjoyed Plaza and their kind of music. Absolutely fantastic band. Um, So yeah, this is apology to myself by Plaza, and thank you for listening. Um, the past 2 weeks have been great. Since I kind of like changed things up a bit, and the episodes have been a bit shorter, that kind of thing. So thank you for sticking around, and I did say I'm gonna like bring back the older episodes, but shorter. But I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. I'm just gonna, take it from here from the past two episodes going forward, I think. Um, but yeah, like I said, this is Plaza. Apology to myself, and thank you for listening. And see you at the front.